I don't get to play my video games very often, and God of War Ragnarok was one I committed to myself. I was like, I am going to sit and play that game, and I'm going to beat it. I might not do 100% completion, but I'm going to beat that game. God of War Ragnarok is one of the few games I've beaten in the last couple of years, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Full disclosure, I didn't love it as much as I did the first one. The first one was just like special in a way that I can't articulate very well in this moment. God of War Ragnarok was definitely a fun, interesting, superb game making. Like movie making, game making, you get what I'm saying. Honest game trailers is what we got in here in front of us. God of War Ragnarok from Fandom Games. Thank you, Fandom Games, for allowing me to do this reaction. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. While you're subscribing and upvoting, subscribe to Fandom Games. There's a link in the description below. Honest game trailers, God of War Ragnarok. Here we go.
From the developer who brought you the non-stop action of God of War 1, 2, 3, and Neopets, The Darkest Fairy.
What?
Comes Sony Santa Monica's follow-up to 2018 slow, thoughtful meditation on fatherhood. That's an even slower, more thoughtful meditation on how everyone you love will die. Even your dog.
Yeah. That opening? Oh, that opening crushed me. God of War Ragnarok actually had a few moments that tugged at my heartstrings, including the opening with the dog. And I'm not one to cry over a dying dog in a movie or anything like that. Maybe in real life I'll cry over a dying dog, but like this... a video game dog? There's not even a connection to it because it was introduced and then it dies within several minutes of it being introduced. It got me.
Ragnarok. Kratos and co. are back in a brand new adventure, which is really just more of the old adventure. Not that you'd know, based on our favorite dad god, skill tree and armor.
What happened to all the armor we made you already?
I used it.
Well, maybe try to make this one last longer.
I will not.
Which have been completely erased at the worst time ever, because everyone's still trying to kill him. That is, if parenting his garbage son doesn't kill him first. That's right, Atreus is also here, whether you like it or not.
Too damn tall now!
And this time, you have to, get to, play from his perspective.
Hey, I actually enjoyed playing as Atreus. I thought it was a cool way to shake things up. That was one of the things I thought that was such a neat way to vary the gameplay from the first one. I remember a moment like that in The Last of Us where you get to play as Ellie, and I thought that was really cool. The difference from The Last of Us here, though, is that you played as Ellie for a very short time. Here, like, it was thoroughly part of the game, where, like, this is very important that you play as both characters. I thought that was cool.
Which is even more annoying than the MJ missions in Spider-Man. Because at least MJ wasn't a mid-pubescent teen going through a hard, awkward phase, and you didn't have to watch her try to date. I just hope the next game doesn't have a quick-time event where Kratos explains the birds and the bees. Journey to Midgard, which used to be normal, but now is cold because of magic or something. But even though it's still full of spooky ice zombies, the biggest thing you have to worry about is the Pigeon Man from Hey Arnold.
Always wash your berries before you eat them.
Yep, Ragnarok is right around the corner, and Peepaw Crow Arms is here to make it your problem too. Fortunately, you have your friends by your side, plus some dude that won't help you at all. But he's pretty useful if you've always wanted to make Kratos look like he's just a little guy. Then eventually add a divorcee that is trying to kill you from the very start of the game. And a motley crew just...
Did anyone else think that they might end up together? Am I the only one? They're both single. They're both adults. They both have trauma and pain in their past. Like, it just seems like it's a match made in heaven.
And a motley crew just messed up enough to create mythology's answer to Modern Family. And you know what that means. New Netflix sitcom series. Look, it worked for The Witcher. Assemble an army across the weirdly empty realms of Norse mythology, including Svartalfheim.
That would be my one complaint about God of War 1. When I was going through the game, I wish they had populated it further, but I guess there's like limitations with the graphics and whatever. But like when I was going through God of War 1, I was like, there's like no people here. You know, when you play Grand Theft Auto, there's just like people everywhere. There's like no people here, except for the ones that are crucial to your path to the end of the game, you know? Like, it's just odd to me that there's no one else in this environment, and then it's never really explained, at least as far as my experience goes, it wasn't explained.
The land of the dwarves, which you're repeatedly told is gassy.
The effects here appear far more gaseous in nature.
And yet no one calls it Svartalfheim. Come on, guys, if we can't have fun in the apocalypse, then when can we? Of course, Moria isn't the only previously unexplored realm you get to visit. Take a trip to Asgard, the home of the Aesir, which looks like if Todd Howard finally developed a game that didn't look like trash. Then journey into Casa de Odin in an Atreus-centric quest that will make him wonder what his role is in the fate of the world, and will make you wonder when the freaking God of War is gonna come back already, as you learn that there are very fine people on both sides of this battle. And play Google Translate with Odin's Eyes Wide Shut mask, which is all somehow less depressing than your one-on-one time with the war god himself,
Snack?
I do not need a snack.
who's finally taking the time to mourn his late wife Faye because she may have died in the last game, but she didn't get cast until now, who you'll spend hours dreamwalking with instead of trying to stop the literal end of the world. Come on, Kratos, you're acting like this is the first dead wife you've ever had. Get it together, man. We've got lizards to murder. Reunite father and son in the fight against the guy that was obviously evil from the start by slaughtering a bunch of animals and people that had the misfortune of being in your way as you whip out your usual orgy of sharp things like you're filming an infomercial and give everything the business end until your rage meter fills to do the traditional Kratos thing of punching violently or charging violently or healing violently with epic battle mechanics that will almost make you forget the time you got wrecked by a bunch of plant spores on Vanaheim.
Oh man, those things were the worst. They made me so angry. I'm just like, fuck, I missed it again, didn't I? It's almost like you stub your toe. That was my fault. I did that. I could have avoided that. Why wasn't I more careful? Because I'm just in a fucking hurry. Why? Now my toe hurts.
So grab your axe and your blades and also your magical god-killing spear and also your sick new grappling hook, and get ready to play the game you liked 4 years ago with a slightly different story and with slightly different monsters, but with more pointless puzzles that NPCs will solve for you the second you hesitate.
Maybe you could try hitting the rope.
Oh my god,
Come on,
thank
guys.
you.
I know I'm not the god of puzzle solving or anything, but I think even I can figure out that I need to freeze the geyser with my geyser freezing axe.
Yeah.
Okay, we froze one of those geysers.
I know! Starring Never Skip Chess Day, Teen Wolf,
Oh,
Jackass
nice.
Presents Bad Grandpa,
Oh, what?
Thor from Endgame,
That's right.
Blues Brother, Cinderella, Mamma Mia, here we go again, The Headless Norseman, The Big Friendly Giant,
Oh, wow.
The Little Friendly Giant, Air Fryer, talk about an Asgard, Ratatouille, and so many dogs. Look at these good boys. Look at those good boys. And look at... Well, he's just misunderstood.
Oh, I am thoroughly annoyed that there was no opportunity to ride the big dog. That was bullshit. Like, that was Chekhov's gun. Your son injects the soul of his dead dog into this big-ass wolf, and you never get to ride it? What's up with that? I understand that graphically that would have probably been too intense on the system. It just seemed like it was written. It was like, it's right there. Why don't you get to ride it and, like, do some damage? Even if it's just, like, a transition thing so you can, like, jump from one location to another. You know, kind of like how you saw the geysers or whatever, like the gold geysers where you threw your spear into it to break it open or whatever. Maybe there was something like that in the game where it's like an area that, oh, I can't reach it. It's too far, too big of a jump. We can't do it. But now we got a giant fucking wolf. We can jump from, you know, area to area.
The Godfather, Part 2.
That's right.
You know, it's a good thing this game is so pretty to look at, because you're going to spend most of your time watching it. Or at least, you know, climbing slowly up different kinds of walls. I mean, I guess that's one way to get hype for Breath of the Wild 2.
I don't think it was as bad as Breath of the Wild with regards to the climbing. I know that so many of you guys love the shit out of Breath of the Wild, but the climbing got on my last nerve. In God of War Ragnarok, it didn't feel as annoying to me. I mean, there were bits where I was just like, I am basically just following the path you're telling me, game. There is not a lot of creativity in terms of my choices, in terms of my input here. I'm literally just following the path you laid out. So I'm just kind of smashing that X button or whatever it was to get to the next point. I had a lot of fun with the game, tugged at my heartstrings multiple times. It's a remarkable, remarkable game. It just didn't move me quite as much as the first one did. And maybe it's because it's something I'm familiar with because of the first game, if that makes any sense. I would love to know what you guys think. I'd love to know how you guys felt if you thought, you know, the experience overall was like more exhilarating than the first game, like as if it was a brand new experience. You know what I mean? So let me know. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'm Jabby Kuwait. Peace out.